Aren't you too old to be out whoring?
It's a material world.
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin. So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ecamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Where do you get this cabaret idea?
It's been a dream for years. Ever since we went to see one in Oxenford. Remember? The dancer hanging from the chandelier? And once she was completely downside up, she called you over and...
I remember.
How could you forget? And this place will be even better, I promise. That is, of course, if I can scrounge together the funds for some remodeling.
Maybe the Vivaldis would give you a loan. I'd vouch for you.
Funny you mention that. I went to see Vivaldi. Nobody said. Witchers are no good as guarantors. Risk of premature death is way too high. But I have another idea. I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zerrikania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing. We can borrow the coin from her.
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
You know, I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure. Which is why I need to draw on your authority. You've got some, you know, no matter what you might think.
Fine. Tell me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And then give me that loan.
What's this help entail?
First of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Irina, one of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Irina. What will you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish. But I promise I'll do it before you come back with the sword. Then I'll tell you the rest.
Fine, but...
Geralt, the only butts in this plan will be the ones filling my seats. It'll work, you'll see. Get the sword from Madame Irina and meet me outside Sophronia's at sunset.
Old man Newman left me a gift last time.
What? He never given me nothing but floppy diddly.
If you don't know how to give, you can't receive.
Saying I'm no good at giving.
To give, you got to have talent and character.
Mitts to yourself.
How are things, Dudu?
So, I suppose. Might have been days in the past when I'd have said, wonderful. But I can't complain. I'm in one piece. Not bound to a stake atop a pyre.
Dudu, tell me. The halfling Biberveld goes from being a prosperous merchant to being a pauper. How?
Prefer the long version or the short?
Short, please.
The war.
I was under the impression merchants grow fat on wars.
Some do, but I have a serious personality flaw. I'm honest. I could not reap profits from the suffering of others. I paid taxes. I never cooked my books. And then a ship full of my goods sank. I pulled through somehow, but then a second fell prey to Skelligan raiders, rendering me insolvent. When inflation hit and interest rates rose, I, at long last, fell.
Gotta admit, your Menga, it's a brilliant impersonation.
Don't remind me. I'm rather disgusted.
Come on, he wasn't all out terrible.
You understand nothing. A Doppler assumes more than a man's external appearance. I've learned what a scoundrel had knocking about in his head. Once I became him, not an hour passed before I felt the urge to break a sorceress's fingers. After two, I caught myself lusting to impale someone, and immediately after that, it hit me. The paranoid fear of a Doppler conspiracy.
Ever considered leaving? Forgetting Novigrad altogether?
What for? To pass from the frying pan into the fire? The war's not yet crept here. Famine's not kicked at our door. Not that the future's looking rosy.
But you don't have to be human. Maybe you could try something else.
I've assumed many forms over the years, and in spite of all, life as a human has proven most interesting. After all, you humans rule the world.
Take care of yourself, Doo-Doo.
Oh, those bigots haven't the cunning to strip me of this mask.
Floppy
On top
diddly.
of me.
You don't know how to give, you can't receive.
You always wear
Saying
tight
I'm no good at
trousers.
giving.
To give, you got to have talent and character.
Meow. Hey there, handsome. I need a rest. Admit to yourself. This life sometimes
Witcher.
is a handful.
Aren't you too old to be out whoring?
What's he schemed up this time?
I haven't the strength, Geralt. Perhaps you can talk some sense into him.